edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, the Professor, Russ Stevens, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's the barber to the stars, Hollywood Pete McGilvery. All right, well, we're going to have another great show for you tonight. So, boys, let's get it started. Apparently, I'm too negative to be on the show, so I'm going to talk positive first, okay?
No Daniel Navas.
Right, don't strain yourself.
Yeah, when we first were here last week, Chris Sale had not started a game for the Boston Red Sox, and he was fantastic last Wednesday, right? They ended up winning in 12 innings, but
didn't get the win.
Just must watch. And then all of a sudden, he comes again against Verlander, and they lose the game 2-1. But again, he's just top tier pitcher, and we rag on Dabrowski a lot, but that was a great acquisition.
Okay, so are we live?
Yeah.
So this isn't going to be taped, right?
No.
And we're talking about the Red Sox and the Bruins are in the playoffs.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Tonight.
Yeah, right.
7 o'clock.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll get to those. We'll get to
your way, Mr. Positive.
We'll get to the Bruins.
We'll get to 30-minute show feed. We'll get to them. We'll get to them.
I thought you'd lead with the Bruins.
No.
Never going to happen.
Yeah. No. They get to the finals, we'll lead to them. We'll lead. No. We'll say, coming up.
If they had won one game against Ottawa.
Through right now.
Make sure to watch the last 3 minutes of the show because the Bruins are in the Stanley Cup Finals.
There seems to be an insurrection going on tonight.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
We'll stick to the script then.
It's a coup d'etat.
Anything goes down, I'm with Pete.
You think I was going to
Anything goes down, I'm with Pete.
When guys from Methuen say French words, you don't know what could happen.
25 people in Brookline just had a stroke.
I digress. I'm sorry.
All right. Chris Sale, he's been traded. But no, Chris Sale's the real deal.
He sure is. I mean, it looks like if he stays healthy, I don't know how you. I mean, although he's pitched 2 games, he doesn't have a win yet, so you can't go on the win thing. But he just looks like a guy who's going to have like a 2.3 ERA and a ton of strikeouts.
Yeah, last year David Price was giving up 10, 12 runs a game and had wins galore next to his name.
He's almost good enough to now compared to John Lester.
Oh, never.
Oh, that'll be. Pete just brings up something very
No,
interesting.
right? You know, he's a John Lester hater. No. You hate John Lester. No, you do hate him. I love him.
I don't love him as much
no,
as
you
you.
don't.
Not like Brock Holt.
He's putting Sale and Lester in the same group. Where are you on that?
Oh, I mean, if Sale's I think Sale's ceiling is higher than Lester's. I mean,
I'm putting Sale with Pedro.
Shut down, dominant Pedro style. Lester's
They're comparative right now, though.
Oh, I don't know.
Lester's advantage is his consistency. Goes out every 5th day, takes the ball, pounds and pounds and pounds. Sale's a Pedro
different.
guy.
He's different.
Sale's a Pedro guy.
All right, no, they're both
Lester's a Schilling guy. Sale's a Pedro guy.
Yeah, but Lester was my boy. All right, that's it.
I'm not arguing.
So now that Russ is here, you're going to come over.
No, I'm not coming over. I just said Lester's my boy.
All right.
Okay. We're going. If we're talking about the Bruins, we're ready to drop gloves right here. Exactly. I'm coming off the bench, right? Yeah. I'm part of the 3rd line, not the 4th line. Okay, all right. So our depth sucks. The Red Sox depth sucks, right?
Yeah.
That
flu exposed them really badly, didn't it?
Yeah, but it's tough to have depth when 5 guys go down at a time. It's another thing when 1 or 2 guys go down at a time, but they've had 5 guys on the shelf.
They had like 3 guys on bereavement leave for
so I mean, look, our depth isn't great, but no team as I can ever remember that early in the season are 5 deep into their bench.
No, it's true, but guys have to step up. You have a bench. Yeah. These guys are getting paid. And, I mean, you can't be losing games 2-1, 1-0.
And these are important games, as it turns out, the last few years. The beginning is important.
Yeah.
And you hate it pains you inside to have your pitcher pitch an extraordinary game and lose 2-1. I mean, we're the Boston Red Sox. Yeah. If anything, we've always been known for our offense.
By the way, they were facing an equally good pitch. When Verlander's on his game, he's that same class.
Yeah, and Verlander, now you can't talk about Verlander without bringing out Kate Upton, right? I mean, she put herself in the conversation after she started going crazy when Porcello won.
One of the great lines of all time, which we can't repeat here.
Right.
And the kid was tough against Sale last week, too.
Yeah, right. They
kid
were
was
actually in
tough.
the same draft. If can you believe it?
Is that true?
Yeah, and he was drafted ahead of Sale, but he had some injuries. The
He
guy
was
for the
tough.
Pirates.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
very
tough.
tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great game. And just speaking of the game, we like to, because we're called the Grandstanders, we like to give you just a little sense of, I don't know if you all go to the Red Sox games, but it's a Kerman tradition when we're at the Red Sox game to leave the outhouse of Section 8 and to go to the penthouse in the ninth inning,
ninth
right?
inning,
We
yes.
sit behind the plate. So it was actually
When the ushers have gone.
yeah, right, exactly. So we sit there and we watch the last of the inning. So we stayed actually a couple of extra innings. And what has never happened to me in over 40 years of going to Fenway, what happened, Joe? A guy, while we're sitting there, we had there were beers in the hole.
It was a cold night,
The beers
and there was snipes galore.
Yeah, there were beers in the cup holder. A guy came up, well dressed, and he said, "Are you going to finish those beers?" We said, "No, you go ahead." He took all the beers and he started drinking them.
You're kidding.
No, he did not. I've seen
This
some.
is in the $300 seats.
Yeah.
This isn't in the cheap seats. This
Yeah. He just quaffed them down. I've
guess
never
it's
seen.
The beer
This
stand
guy-
was closed.
This guy.
And Tim, 20 years in AA, heard every story in the book at the meetings.
Yeah.
Was aghast.
Well, this guy either has a drinking problem or a really bad marriage.
Yeah.
Right?
So you think you saw everything in Fenway just to give you a little
It was
taste?
kind of a cold, raw night. That
He
night,
sure
wasn't it?
was.
It was like he was parched.
funny.
And he was well dressed, and he didn't even look like he was crap faced.
He was just going through every row, just picking up all the snipes.
Lord.
And drinking them.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's
that's
Getting
rough
that
night.
last sip out of it.
yeah. So welcome to
He
Fenway
must have
Park.
had a lot of money on sale.
But that just shows you can be in the expensive seats and you still deal with
So there are a couple of bright lights shining on the Red Sox right now, right? Matt Barnes seems
both
to have
catches.
stepped up and become a pretty stabilizing force in the late innings. He's
Yeah.
pitched well, right?
Yes, he is.
Both
He has
catchers.
pitched well. Okay.
Both catchers.
I was just going to bring that up.
Right.
Sandy
Those
Leone
catches, one,
and
two.
Vasquez,
Right.
played well.
Played well. And Mitch
Oh,
Moreland's
I
on-
knew he was going to say that. Oh, this is a setup. Can you feel it in there?
Mitch Moreland is on pace for like 120 doubles. And
He's getting going, yeah.
120 doubles. And Christian Vasquez is going to bat 1,000.
So no, but if I remember correctly, a couple weeks ago when I said Mitch Moreland
Do you
was my
remember
guy,
it correctly?
And Scott, the last word out of Scott's mouth was, "Yeah, and he's going to hit a lot of doubles," right? Completely mockingly. And right now, Mitch Moreland's leading the Major League Baseball in doubles.
Is he really?
He is.
And he has 1 RBI.
He's got 6 doubles.
But 1 RBI
Okay.
and no home
I
runs.
understand
Right?
that, but
Where's he
he's
batting?
productive.
Is he late in the
He's fifth.
20.
Is he?
Yeah.
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 Oh.
So,
Well, we've played,
Of course, there've been some crazy lineups.
Yeah.
but we've played 7 games and we have 3 home runs. I mean, that's anemic.
that's a problem. But again, there's been a lot of guys missing. Hanley was out. Mookie was out. The weather's going
Guys
to warm.
aren't
We're going to be all right.
strong. Xander
But
was
I
out.
do think we're missing Poppy,
Yeah.
as you said, right?
Right.
I mean,
Great
this
point.
is-
Right?
The whole league is sick.
But we are missing Poppy. And we're feeling it already because we understand that those 2-1 games can be 3-2 games because Big Poppy
Yeah,
just
but
had
he
a 2-1
didn't crush at the beginning of the seasons, though, either.
No, not always, but still, there's, we have to fill a
be
gap.
careful of them, yeah.
How do we have we noticed any bad decisions by Farrell so far? Is Farrell kind of at least treading water right now?
No.
I haven't noticed anything egregious that Farrell's done.
No, he hasn't done anything. I would.
But he's going to start making the same mistakes as he did last year about trying to cheat an extra out or 2 from the starters because the bullpen really is bad. Other than Barnes, there's been no one there that's really, generated any confidence for anyone.
Well, we and of course Tyler Thornburg, the mental
he's got the
genius,
flu,
is
too.
going to be coming back soon, right?
Yeah, he's got the flu in his shoulder, right? But
he's got the
How about
shoulder
Carson Smith? Is he coming back too?
Yeah.
look, I'm not a fan of Farrell, and I would criticize him if I could. But the problem when they lost that 6-5 game where Sandoval actually ran into a 3-run homer, he would have gone and could have saved that game had Kimbrel been a 4-out closer.
That's true.
Oh, he
And-
doesn't do that, though.
Not only, Kimbrel doesn't. He has to have an inning starts has to be fresh, right?
So he
they
can
have
walk
to
the
have
first
the
2.
lead. And Kimbrel is the biggest problem moving forward in the next couple weeks on this
He's an
team.
enigma. He's that.
What's really weird about it, though, and I agree, I don't want to see him in the game, except that in save situations, it's wickedly efficient for the Red Sox. He saves these games, but it's just painful to watch. I don't think he's a very good pitcher.
He doesn't get his breaking ball over at all.
Yeah, I
He's
know
throwing a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. You'd think he might throw it. No, he's got to throw the breaking ball.
Well, he doesn't have command. You know, the start and finish in Major League Baseball in terms of pitching is fastball command. And if you don't have command over your fastball consistently, I don't know what you do.
But he looked terrible. Look, he looked terrible in spring training. I know that doesn't always mean a lot for the veterans. I understand that. But he's looked terrible every time out, right? And, you know, what are we going to have, a great game pitched by Chris Sale next time, and then Kimbrel blows it up in the ninth inning? And you know how demoralizing that is for teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a battle that far.
And the Red Sox were a team last year, because they were a young team, that they either trended up, they either had the 5 or 6, 7 game winning streaks, or they'd have a bad loss, and next thing you know, the next week they'd be playing poorly. Yeah. So he's the biggest problem moving forward, right? Would you say that?
Well, he's one of
the whole bullpen is probably the
I agree with Joe. I would say bullpen, and he's the lead dog problem in that bullpen, probably over the course of the year, unless he gets command over his fastball.
All right, so you know how much I hate Pablo. Okay, I have reason to, because he's batting 120.
The fat tub of goo.
The fat tub of goo, and that's only
He almost won
us
us a game the other day, though.
What's that? Oh, the 3-run home.
Yeah.
That's the only thing he's done right the whole season. You understand that?
7 games in.
He's batting the weight of his big toe right now, which is 120, right? Right. And please, everyone has stopped about how he looks slimmer now. Have you noticed that nobody even talks
Can
about
Blake
that?
Swihart play third?
Right. All right, so I ask you boys, how long do they stay with Pablo before they have to pull the plug on that?
30 games, probably 30 to 40 games.
They give him at least a month.
Yeah.
Okay, but when they pull the plug, Pete, is he going to just be put on waivers? Are they just going to say the Pablo experiment is over? We're not taking up his
How
roster
can you
spot?
not do that at that point? I mean, let's face it. They sent him home last year and said, you know, just wait out the year, you know?
Right. So would you say that I mean, they put him on waivers? Because you can't keep him. He's not a utility
trade
guy,
him.
right? And he's not a utility guy. You're not going to put him anywhere else, right?
Well, no one's going to pick him up on waivers. You got to give him his unconditional release.
Well, and the thing is, remember, this is not a Dombrowski guy. So typically, GMs are not going to want to take the loss on that. If this was Charrington, it would be a big black mark on his decision making. Pablo isn't a Dombrowski guy, so maybe Dombrowski does release him and say, look, just didn't work out.
Pablo's proud enough. I mean, he did work hard. In the offseason,
I know, but look,
I don't know if he just doesn't have it anymore. Or it's
I
too
think
cold.
so. He's gotten a little too old.
well, Pete, the last time he played efficiently was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about Hanley is, and look, the professor was dead on about Hanley, but
And Mitch Moreland.
But in don't even get me started. In 2015, the first half of the season, Hanley was the best player on the Red Sox.
He was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then he tailed off. He got injured. Whatever. He got a bad attitude. They sent him home, and then so there was a reason that 2016 there was a glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
But Pablo's never been good with the Red Sox.
Right. Hasn't had.
He hasn't had a lot of games.
Yeah, but you know, the year he played with the Red
Not
Sox in
that you'd want him in a
2015,
I
he was
think they'll
terrible.
give him 25, 30 more games and see where this
Give him
thing
enough rope.
And you got to see where the usual writers will be saying, well, when the warmer weather comes,
Sure, no,
he'll heat up or something.
You'll
That'll
hear
tell
that
you he's going to get a second month.
Yeah. So all right, well we're gonna go to the Bruins for Pete.
Can
Okay.
I ask- I want to ask Pete a question about the Bruins.
All right,
off
go
the
ahead.
bat. Charlie McAvoy, what can we expect? This kid has played
Yeah.
4 games in Providence.
Yeah.
And he's going to come up. He's going to play in the first line. What do you realistically expect? And would he be up here if Krug and Carlo were still in the lineup?
No, he wouldn't. No, but he's here. You got a 19-year-old kid, and he was great in juniors and all that. But now he's going to play a lion's share of minutes only because he's playing with Chara. Now he's playing at 19 years old in the playoffs on the road against a team with this trap that clogs up the neutral zone, which means if you're a puck-moving defenseman, which he is, that's his calling card.
It's going to be his job.
That's a tough thing to ask a 19-year-old kid to do.
So do you think he'll be more of a power play specialist and they'll spot him during the game, or can they not afford to do that just
It
for the
looks
numbers?
like he's going to play a regular shift with Chara to see how he does. Now, the kid the other night, his teammate at BU, he didn't look too sharp.
yeah.
He looked like he was he wanted to do things, but there's just no room the speed so much at this level. And maybe McAvoy will find the same thing.
And the
But
guard
they
nice and
must
small to boot.
They must have seen something in Providence in the small sample size to say, yeah, we'll try it.
Well, what's harder for a younger guy to come up playing defense or being a forward? I'm saying, with only 3 games of professional hockey.
Well, when the other
It seems
team
defense would
scores
be
a
more
goal,
difficult.
everyone looks to see who's in front of the goal at that time.
Yeah, right.
And that's tough.
The
Easier
last
to
guy
point
you see
fingers.
is the culprit,
You're
just
looking
like
at
a
the numbers,
cornerback in football.
This feels a little bit like a Hail Mary, right? The Bruins know that, because
Well-
they got other defensemen in Providence they could bring
Joe
up.
Morrow's been sitting
Right.
upstairs all year long.
This seems like a Hail Mary to me.
Well, this may be a one-game
It's
experiment.
exciting. Look,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
I
going
am
home and
too.
watch this
Yeah.
game. This is like Billy Roar or
Yeah, I
something.
wish I was
Well,
home.
Craig
now.
Janney, remember Craig Janney was a
Bob
huge.
Joyce
Oh,
and Craig
Krug.
Janney. Krug. But I think
Yeah.
I think the
But Krug
Bruins,
was like 6, 7 years older and been 4
Yeah.
years in college in
the Bruins
minor
have
leagues.
a tough task without Krug here because he is a bona fide
Puck-moving
puck-moving defenseman.
So I have a theory. In the athletes that are currently playing for the 4 major league teams, okay, the athletes that have been here the longest, that Tuukka Rask takes the most crap out of any athlete currently.
Now
in
that
Boston.
Clay's gone.
Right, Clay's got right.
He's the
Everyone's-
equivalent of-
yeah, he is right. We're just
Clay lasted 2 1/3 today and ended up on the DL. They had
and
to
walked
pull-
off the mound
Yeah.
with a boo-boo.
After
Bye-bye.
getting lit up like BP, right?
Yeah, right.
Big surprise.
He knows it, right? Because he must have opened up the main house early.
Yeah.
And, it was, and it's time to go.
Yeah, but it's a good point. I can't think of another player who's been here as long as Rask who's sort of consistently maligned.
Right.
Yeah, the thing about
To the
Rask-
expectations for him, the Bruins fans are just over the top with expecting him to carry them like Thomas did that one.
Well,
one
and he
one
does, though.
playoff.
He does for 3/4 of the game, and
Yeah.
then there's a soft goal or something. And I think him, when he kind of called out of that last game of the playoffs at one time, that's like Nomar,
Yeah.
in Boston.
Yeah.
It's tough to come back
over.
from that. Yeah,
in Boston.
it's tough to come back from that.
Even if it's legitimate.
The other guy has been much maligned around here, has been here for a long time, is Tommy Brady by Scott.
Yeah, right.
You're going to have Tuukka Rask, Tom Brady, right?
Oh, no.
That's a very good
no,
point.
I love you, Tom Brady, Brookline. And I've got
all
whenever
on tape.
those
It's all
meals
on
are
tape.
coming, those healthy Tom Brady meals, I'm eating them every night. It's
all on tape.
Sometimes for lunch, too. I love you so much.
All on tape.
All right, so let's do predictions for they're playing Ottawa, and it's a 7-game series. It's kind of weird, an opening
Yeah.
round being 7 games. Do you like
More
that
money for the
format?
NHL.
Would you rather see it 5 games?
Well, if the Bruins go up early, I wish.
Yeah.
All right, some predictions, and we'll start with Pete.
I think it's going to be a 7-game series. It's going to be a tough one to watch. Here's a prediction for you. By the end, no matter how many games he's out, we will all hate Dion Phaneuf.
We already do, right? From the Toronto, right?
Yeah.
And he's married to that actress who was on 24.
That's right.
Did you know that?
Cutbard or something
Who
like that?
played the daughter, Keith Sutherland's daughter.
Yeah, that's right.
In the series, and she's the worst actress of all time.
Not good.
Yeah. All right, so wait. So who
Yeah, I was
wins?
trying to get out of
7-game
that.
winner
Who
loss.
wins?
I'm going to say the Bruins and 7.
All right, Bruins 7. Joe.
Just coming off now, being said, the Bruins have lost 7 out of 8
Yeah.
in the last 8 with them. Didn't win a game this year, but they're all 1-goal losses. So I think the Bruins got enough to, like Pete says, just eke it out in 7.
You know,
Senators
But it's
and
going to be terrible. It's not going to be the playoff hockey we've all come to know and love to watch. It's not going to be, like that Capital series last
Yeah.
year. It's not going to be like that.
Is it too late to get Stan Jonathan back to beat the snot out of somebody?
Yeah, right.
Senators in 6. I just don't see this Bruins team.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yours?
I got the Senators in 7. I just
know,
think the home ice advantage
The
ultimately.
thing is, the Bruins are hurt. That doesn't help them right now, but they have enough veteran leadership to rise to make up for that, hopefully, and that's why I went with them for 7.
But also, we know the playoff hockey is it's a lot of luck.
Should be
If I'm
fun.
betting my money, I'm
Yeah,
not.
you don't go 4 lines deep a lot in playoff hockey. It's 2 1/3.
A lot of overtime games.
Yeah.
It hits off a guy's skate. It goes in the net.
This
You win.
is like watching New Jersey a while back.
Yeah, the old
this
Minnesota
trap is hard to
Wild
watch.
back
So it's going to be
in the
2-1
Mariners'
games, 3-2 if they're, you know.
Not pretty.
You pray to God you get the first goal, and then maybe things will.
That's a great point.
I thought when they got rid of the red line, that kind of thing was a thing of the
Yeah,
past.
it's
But it didn't.
it's hard to watch. It's not entertaining.
So this is an exciting sport tonight. We have the Celtics, who can clinch the number one seed
Unbelievable.
if they beat Milwaukee. And if you have been paying attention the last couple of days, Milwaukee's basically sitting out the whole team.
That's right.
Right? So this is going to like be the developmental league, Milwaukee Bucks. First of all, when you heard that news, I mean, you were happy probably in one instance. Otherwise, saying, really?
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, it's a big deal because that means you don't end up playing Cleveland in the second round, right? Like that's the big advantage is that you're guaranteed not to be playing Cleveland in the second round. But Cleveland's still the class of the conference, right? Is it ultimately going to make that much of a difference?
Is it important for Danny, meaning that so he can say, look what we've done. We're missing one piece, and you're the piece.
That's a great point. That's what I think. I think this is the most important thing going into the offseason, saying we were the first seed this year.
Yeah.
We didn't make it to the finals, but can you see how we've progressed?
But it means but it means nothing if we don't win this first series. I'm petrified we're going to lose this first series because you can take all the happiness of getting the number one seed, and you go out to the Bulls in the first series, and it's all just nothing.
No, right? You're right.
Which is
And
possible.
Joe,
It's
no.
possible.
Look,
Is Rose out?
I thought there was.
Yeah,
I thought there was. No, your Rose is on the Knicks. I thought that
Rondo.
any team that was going to be eligible for the playoffs could beat the Celtics in the first round, except for the Bulls.
Except for the Bulls. If they lose to the Bulls, it is going to be devastating. Because I agree with you. You should beat the Bulls, and you should beat the Pacers. All those other teams scare me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gordon Hayward is not coming to the Celtics if they lose to the Bulls.
Yeah.
Right, and that'll be an embarrassment. How many times in the history of the NBA has a first seed lost to an eighth seed? Has it maybe been once?
A couple times.
It's not been a whole lot.
And it's been a long time since it happened.
Yeah, I think it has been.
Yeah, but and Rondo is
the Bulls
back
don't
and
match
forth
up.
on
The
that
Bulls
team.
don't match up very well against the Celtics. They can't guard Isaiah like that. They do have the big guy who drives the Celtics crazy. But Wade, Butler, Rondo, it's a bad mix for those guys. Can't lose to them.
Yeah, but the Celtics are a very flawed team, and it seems like you don't know what you're getting from quarter to quarter, forgetting about game to game, right?
Yeah.
Is that coaching to an extent? And I like Brad Stevens.
It's a bad second unit.
But I like Brad Stevens, but I think the jury's still out on him as a game
The thing
coach.
that you have to be concerned about, to me, this year with Stevens is he's not been able to motivate the kind of defense that they've played the last 2 or 3 years.
Right.
To me, the defensive, backup that they've made, the regression, has been the most troubling thing. The rebounding you can't blame on them because they just don't have good rebounding.
They just don't do it.
Right?
Yeah.
But the defense and these guys going out and playing with a defensive intensity every night, that hasn't been there all year.
Right.
I haven't seen anybody box anybody out.
Drives me crazy.
And nobody protects Isaiah Thomas. Nobody.
Well, there's another guy like Rask that gets a lot of grief in this town for a guy that has made this a number one seed. Granted, he's not going to be a big playoff performer because he's going to get doubled the whole time.
Joe, you're right. For a guy who hasn't even been here that long, and he's excelled far beyond his expectations when we
People
acquired
are killing him for his playoff record. He's only been here 1 year.
What is the problem with you Celtics fans? Why is it all about against Isaiah? I can't understand it.
I didn't think he was in Rask territory or Buckholz territory.
Oh, yeah.
He catches a lot of crap.
Way more than he should, I
Well, he
think.
criticized his coach, didn't he?
Well, he does think he's
In
the
the
boss
paper.
there, yeah.
No, he likes to talk.
You can't do that.
No, he likes to talk. I understand, but he's trying to take on the role of the team leader, and there's nobody else stepping up.
Well, you know who the face of the team is the coach.
Yeah, right.
So he's the guy.
But he's not a talker.
No, he's not and he's not a big personality.
No.
Yeah.
He likes to blend in. That's what he's.
He likes to stay in the background, and so Isaiah, someone's got to talk. Yeah.
Horford's the same way. They went out and got the big stud, and he's not a real exciting guy.
Look, the Celtics are used to having coaches like Auerbach, Heinsohn,
Doc.
Fitch,
Here's the thing.
Doc. These guys were intense guys, and you knew how they felt.
If Marcus Smart were a better offensive player, he would be the team leader, right?
Yeah.
He would be the guy who'd be out front. He's got that personality. He's got the kind of toughness that no one else in the NBA practically
Yeah, but no one
has.
wants to see him launch one.
But he can't shoot.
Yeah.
It's gotten worse.
If he had a better offensive game, yes, you're right.
Yeah, he would be that guy, But
He fits. He's got all the checks.
That's
except for
right.
that.
Look, it's the small little things that I noticed that Brad Stevens still lets Amir Johnson heave up three-pointers, and I don't think he's hit one since opening night. That he still hasn't told him that to stop doing that shows that he doesn't have complete control of his roster.
why do
and
you hate
needs-
Brad Stevens so much? They have the first seed in the Eastern
Oh, I will hate
Conference.
Brad.
He's got
I-
53
no.
wins.
I will hate Brad
53 wins,
Stevens.
and you hate Brad Stevens.
Not to hate him. I'm not in love with him like everyone else is.
Wow,
I
Tom
was kinda
Brady,
surprised
Brad
when you-
Stevens, so he hates the face of the Patriots.
No, that's not
he
true. I
hates
love
the
him.
face of the Celtics.
No, I
and
don't
he
love
doesn't like
him.
Tuukka Rask either.
Tuukka's all right. A little,
like
I think,
a little
I think
sensitive.
Patrice Bergeron is next.
Oh no! I love Patrice Bergeron. I could do it
I
all the
still
time.
remember Pete freezing like a deer caught in the headlights when I proposed to Patrice Bergeron for
Subban.
UK Subban trade, and Pete was like, "Oh my God, how do I get out of this?"
All right,
That would have been a bad trade.
Yeah, so let's just finish up with the Patriots because I love them so much, as you know. All right, so we have a rumor each week of some guy.
Of unknown origin.
Yeah, right. So Marshawn Lynch is the new flavor of the week who might be headed here. Is that
he's
just
not
a-
coming
I
here.
thought it was Sherman.
No. Well, yeah, Sherman
was
was
just
earlier in
last
the
week,
week.
yeah.
Yeah. And that
Adrian
was-
Peterson.
Yeah. So is this just the Patriots keeping in the news?
No, that and LeGarrette, this is all you're going to get. Put your name on the paper.
Yeah, this is all about. We're gonna just keep
We're
raising.
not going to negotiate.
They just want him to.
This
they
is
want
what
to
you
force
get.
him to
It
sign.
doesn't seem like Bill Belichick's got a reason for every single thing, every single tiny thing he does.
Right.
So
I
if he's
agree with Pete,
bringing
yeah.
these guys in, there's a reason for it. Like,
But it's going to be terrible. They've really they have done Blunt wrong. And you know I don't like Blunt as a player. But in his 4 years here, he'll make as much money cumulatively in the 4 years as they gave Burkhead.
Oh, is that right?
But
this
guaranteed,
year.
no. But Blunt made some money. He's
a
been
special
making
teamer,
bonus
isn't
money.
he?
Yeah, bonus
His
money.
base money, I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's bad. They signed this other guy for $3.5 million, and Blunt had 18 touchdowns last year.
And they give it a minimum.
Third string running back for
Who's
the
a special
Cincinnati
teamer.
Bengals,
Yeah.
who's a special team, and they get $3.5 million
Yeah, right,
guaranteed.
exactly.
Blunt's got to be sitting there like, what's going on?
But-
what did I do wrong?
But don't you just hate? I hate the argument that says, "Well, we won a Super Bowl with Blunt, so we can win another Super Bowl with him." We can win a Super Bowl without Blunt
him,
and a guy who's much more efficient during the course of the year in the playoffs. We don't need him. Okay.
This is just a case of Belichick using every bit of leverage he has at all
Yeah.
times.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And also
He's
being
the master.
Look, they have. I told you this is a poker game, and now every time there's cards dealt, everybody. The
Football
31
players fold
31
up like
But the
cards.
31 NFL teams always think when the cards are dealt that the Patriots have the best cards, right?
yeah.
And that's where the kings of poker win all your money. And so they just throw this stuff out. Oh, we're going to get Sherman this week. Oh, maybe we'll have Drew Brees as a backup.
Yeah.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
This is just, they're winning the PR game too.
They didn't bring Tony Romo in.
I have expected that. I have expected them to bring Romo in for a visit, just to test
Well,
the
Romo's
tires.
going to be here all the time because he's going to be on the #1 team.
Yeah. Oh, and they'll have Romo out in the field throwing the ball around one day.
How about Mark
that would not-
Cuban?
Oh yeah, I
Come
know.
on.
I know you love Mark Cuban,
Oh,
but
I'm
what
a
did you
big
think of
Mark
that?
Cuban fan. Oh, I don't know. He's just a showman. What the hell?
He's Branch Rickey.
At least they
by
put
the
a
way-
stop to it.
Well,
Charlie
also,
Finley.
but the guy is
Yeah,
a
right.
professional athlete. It's not like you're taking someone out of the stands. I mean, the guy's a professional athlete.
I know, but he shouldn't be put on a roster.
It's kind of fun. What's
Yeah.
it harming?
I know. Look, he would have sold some more seats. He would have banged the
It
place
is.
out that night.
It is pretty
T-shirts.
Portland Sea
You're right.
Dogs.
Like those Tim
Bill Beck
Tebow
move.
T-shirts we
Yeah,
all have.
no, you're
It's a
right.
Bill Veck move.
Yeah, and NBA TV would have put on Romo. I understand it. That's fine. You're right. It's entertainment. All right, and this was entertainment. I hope you enjoyed it because this is a great show. I want to thank, of course, the boys. I want to thank everyone behind the scenes. Of course, the lovely and talented Adrian. Please check us out on our website at thegrandstanders.com and tune in again in 2 Wednesday nights. We're taking the week off next week for another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night.
Puck drops in 2 minutes.